We have been absolutely rolling with the lock of the night plays as of late. Robert Whitaker coming through for us last time around as a minus 130 favorite, making quick work of Ikram Aliaskarov, looking more minus 300 than minus 130. I believe he closed closer to minus 150, minus 160, and a lot of people were counting him out that night, thinking that he is past his prime and way too fragile. It ended up being Ikram Aliaskarov that was way too fragile as he got hurt by the first big shot that Whitaker landed and eventually followed up with some big shots to put him away. I was very proud of that pick with how confident I was in it, and even with the odds being as close as they were, I had no reservations in terms of firing off on it, and that's exactly what I was able to do. On the weekend, we go 4-0 on lock of the night plays. For PFL, we hit a minus 120 favorite, I believe it was, in Bruno Miranda. In Bellator, we hit a chalky parlay, but again, sometimes you got to go that way, especially when you have Bellator, which is always chalky. I believe it was Sarvarjan Hamidov and Paul Hughes that I parlayed together. And then for LFA, we cash on a minus 225 favorite in Dante Skiro, and we go 4-0 for plus 12.41 units and a 62% ROI on the year now. That brings our record to 48-21 for plus 17.45 units and a 5% ROI. Again, we're in the right track now, especially after such a poor start to the year where we started 23-16 on lock of the night plays for a 59% hit rate. But now, our last 30 lock of the night plays, we are 25-5 for an 83% hit rate. That is the mark. That's the sweet spot. 75% or higher is obviously where I would like to be at. I believe 48-21 puts us roughly at about 70%. Still got some work to do, but I'm happy to be firmly in the profit now and hope to continue to build upon that moving forward. So shout out to everybody that's been cashing the lock of the night plays with us. Again, I drop it strictly on the Patreon page. Whenever I drop this top 3 lock of the night candidates segment for you guys on Tuesdays, it is just 3 candidates. I only end up picking one of them, and the only people that find out exactly who it is are the people that are on the MMA LOTN Patreon page. If you want to be in on that as well, and I think we got a pretty good one for this weekend. Make sure you guys hit that link in the description below and check it out yourselves. All right, let's get into the top 3 lock of the night candidates, the first of which is going to be Mr. Ricky Simone, coming in at minus 230 as he goes up against Vinicius Oliveira. Now, Ricky Simone is on a 2-fight losing streak where he's been finished by Song Yadong in his first ever main event slot in the 5th round. Yadong was finally able to put him away. And then last time around, we saw Simone come up short against Mario Bautista, who showcased improved takedown defense and an ability to establish more damage over the course of 20 or 15 minutes and win that fight on the scorecards. It's clear Ricky Simone will likely struggle to get his striking going in most matchups, especially if his opponents have the advantage. But once he gets his wrestling going, he has such a smothering style from that top position, very strong from that top position where he's able to either control his opponents or open up submission opportunities. He loves that arm triangle choke as well. And I think that's something that he can pull off here against Vinicius Oliveira. Yes, Vinicius has the striking advantage in this matchup, but unlike Mario Bautista and Song Yadong, this man's a little bit too reckless and a little bit too wild with his strikes, which leaves plenty of opportunities for a guy like Ricky Simone to change levels and get this fight to the ground. And we've seen Oliveira get grinded out by lesser opposition in the past, and I think we can see Ricky Simone come through here relatively easily and grind out Oliveira en route to either a decision victory or a submission victory, but he is the first lock of the night candidate. The second lock of the night candidate is going to be Martin Budai, coming in at minus 240. Now, I see some sentiment already out there that a lot of people believe that this fight will go to a close split decision, and it's unjustifiable to take minus 240 on Budai, but I disagree. I think we'll see Budai push the pace very well here, mix it up in the clinch. I'm hoping he goes for takedowns because that's where we see Arlovski show the easiest path to victory in terms of defeating him, because he doesn't really provide much resistance off of his back. But even if Budai doesn't choose to go that way, I think his ability to push the pressure, stay in his opponent's face, and really cause him issues will be the difference maker in this matchup. He came up short against Shamil Gadziev last time around, which caused the halting of that tremendous winning streak that he was on. But I think he's going to come back a lot more pissed off this time around, and he has a very winnable matchup here. Although he's at an extreme experience disadvantage in this matchup, this guy is an absolute gamer and will really push the pace and stay in the face of Andrei Arlovski, ultimately winning this fight on the scorecards. If he goes for the takedowns, he could possibly find a finish there. But at minus 240, I don't mind a shot there. The third and final lock of the night candidate is going to be in the form of Machado Garry, coming in at minus 140 right now. This is a guy that's largely been hated by the fan base due to all that stuff with his wife and all these other antics that he has outside the cage. But when we're placing money on fighters, the last thing you want to tie yourself to is how you feel about this fighter outside of the cage. What does he do inside the cage, and can he be effective against the opponent that he has up against him this weekend? I believe so. He's going up against a strategic and disciplined striker in Michael Venom Page, who had a great UFC debut against Kevin Holland earlier this year. However, Ian Garry, the more complete fighter in my opinion here. I think we're going to see him look to utilize his striking to eventually open up takedown opportunities. And from there, I think he really grinds on Michael Page and eventually opens up a submission opportunity that I think he can secure. People have only been seeing the striking side of Machado Garry since joining the UFC, but this is a guy that can carry a solid grappling pace if that's what's required. His fight against Jack Grant, which was the last fight that he had for Cage Warriors, was a matchup where he showcased a solid grapple heavy approach because he had a bum knee, but still managed to win that fight pretty unanimously. And I think he could do something similar here against Page, maybe even pull off a submission as well. So give me Machado Garry as the third and final lock of the night candidate. Which one of these three do I end up going with? Check out the lock of the night MMA LOTN Patreon page, link in the description below, and let's see if we can continue this super hot streak of lock of the night plays that we've been having. Let's see if we can get and build upon that 25-5 run that we're currently on. All right, we will be back probably later today for PFL breakdowns. I'll be dropping that nice and early this week for you guys because I'm a little bit ahead of schedule. And then tomorrow we'll be back for the top 3 dog of the night candidates. So stay tuned for that. I'll see you guys later today. Peace.